say Allah or God guides me is time just goes on, right? Time just goes on. And over time, I'm just guided to think, okay, I gotta keep it new. I gotta keep it up. I gotta keep it up. I gotta keep it out because I would say, I mean, that's a long time, right? I've been guided, so it's too hard to explain. But right now, I'm being guided to really focus on Prophet Jesus. That's what I mean. It's like I'm guided to a certain part of history, a certain people, a certain generation, and there was a certain point you can forget. Whoever and whatever God guides me to, at that moment, what I'm going to learn something about them. Okay, so I'm being guided to focus on many things about the Bible and Christianity, but specifically, but then, because I already focused on Islam so much, and then I told you or whatever, but now I'm really being guided to focus on Jesus and Prophet Jesus, and I'm going to see it. I'm going to see, I'm being guided right now, but I'm going to see it if I study him, where the lies come from, how Jesus did it, how he was God did it. Yes, he's powerful, yes, but then how did they got away with saying he's God? He didn't need to took that power in natural way. So I inspire all of you to, right, let's listen to that episode, that title, listen to this episode first before you watch any other episode. That's what the title I'm going to give it. It's like 10 minutes of me giving you advice as to what to do. There's like 300 something episodes, correct? So I want to basically guide you on how to follow, what to focus on, and what you need to do. Because you need to do something. When you really need to do something, then you don't miss what your Lord intends for you when He tells you to make this podcast. There's a reason why it's a podcast. And I don't stand in the street because He wants to go global, you know? Okay, there's easy reason, right? You don't have to be like, what did the person say? I forgot. You can just repeat it. Every day you can listen to the episode, pray, 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 go back like that, and it's fine. So for that reason, listen to that episode, um, and then start the podcast. But then, when you get to this point, right, now I want you to focus on Prophet Jesus. I want you to know, oh, I'm getting attacked with witchcraft, sorry. It means they try to make me forget what I need to tell you. I'm going to pause this, right? I want you to watch this movie that I'm recommending of Prophet Jesus and try to actually understand him. This is a very important prophet of God, but I swear by God's name, as Muslims, there's some sort of either witchcraft or curse or something, you know? It just sends you evil thoughts that basically sort of pushes Muslims podcast will explain a lot to you as to why perversion and sexism is all you see in religion. Since my job is to tell you that's corruption, it's not from your Lord. Okay? Women and men are perfectly equal in his eyes. Okay, then why is there so much sexism and perversion in religion? They just are not going to call it that term, right? They're going to act like that's just laws. Okay, you're going to understand that as you go through the podcast. So there's that episode where I'm telling you to start, from the beginning, and you'll understand, and then you'll know what to do. And I need you to do some steps and then start the podcast. Okay, so obviously a lot of you have just listened to episodes here and there. That's fine, but technically, God told me He's gonna let the world, right, the actual world, find this podcast February 2025. Right now, everyone's being blinded. It's being hidden from you, and I'm being hidden from you. Okay, so that's why I'm making these messages, because no one really is here. No one is really here to really start listening. I have like 52 something or 54 people following it, this channel. Yeah, but we don't know who they are. I just want you to know a lot of them are actually demons that moment. They don't have the consciousness as a human to really take the knowledge. They're just possessed at a horrible level because they're just being used in the demonic persecution. They're just being used to monitor my channel. They're not themselves. Okay, so this is gonna stop this month, February 2025. Okay, then it's gonna allow human beings to be themselves, like free. Your demons can't control you, and you're gonna just simply come to the channel and have a sort of normal mind. You'll listen. You're not blind. It's not being hidden from you, because God has guided me right to a point. See, these vehicles are getting on my nerves. They keep using them to distract me. So right? The podcast has reached the point where I have been guided enough to get to the last parts of wisdom that then it's like you can say I concluded it. It's over. I'm done with it. And so now you're all gonna then be allowed to see it. So I might be made to make more episodes and then stop like that. 'Cause I'm already seeing it. God is always inspiring me to make more episodes, but definitely it's almost over. And today is January 5. So, right? I just want you all then to get to the point of the last episode, the last few episodes, such as the fact that in this episode right now, look at the description of this episode right on the channel, and I'm gonna share a movie with you about Jesus. It's art when you've already listened to the other ones, right? Because I told you guys they make you obsessed with Prophet Muhammad. Everyone pushes Jesus away. Okay, and two, he's actually gonna come back to lead with Mahdi, so you have to obviously learn about him now. You see, you have to let Prophet Muhammad go. Okay, he's gone. It's just like you let Abraham go. It doesn't mean we forgot our prophet. No, it just means you have to now learn about someone else, study about someone else. That's what I mean by let them go. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you already know about your prophet. Excellent. But can you keep studying about him 20? No, right? You have to study about others if others are coming. Do you agree? So now you all need to start focusing on studying about Mahdi and Jesus. Dig up everything online. Research. Look at the Shia version, the Sunni version, the Christian version, the Jew. Study. Okay, even Hindus, they call it Kalki, right? They believe it's possible that's Prophet Muhammad or it's possible that's Mahdi. But if they think that's the last person to ever come as a savior, then it has to be Mahdi. Okay, so like that, you just want to see where the knowledge, because demons are spreading knowledge. I already helped you. You don't have to be like, that's too much for me. What I've done is I've looked at all that stuff, right, as God guided me, and I brought you the truth. And I separated it from the lies. I already did that for you in all those episodes you're gonna have to go through on this podcast or my podcast. Okay. But see, I still want you to go and read some stuff, because that's how your heart is also gonna be guided. You have to also read something. As you're reading it, you'll be guided. You can't just be told, because I'm just rephrasing things also. I'm also just making it into summaries. Okay, anyways. And there you go. You have to first listen to that episode where I'm telling you what steps to take, right? Before you start the podcast, because I want you to do certain things and then you're ready, you know? It's like you have your book and pencil or pen and now you're ready to start the sort of note taking like that. Then you're ready. So when you get to the point, sort of the end of the episode, right? The end of the podcast, which is this episode, where again, if you listen to it at the beginning, it's all good, but just come back to it in the future, okay? Just go in order, use the numbers. You'll come back to it. Basically then you're gonna reach this episode and it's telling you to watch the movie about Prophet Jesus. Now it's your turn. It's your turn as Muslims to finally give credit to Prophet Jesus and study him now. Watch this movie, other movies if you can find. Just don't watch ones that is portraying him as very old. Like very old males. So just one of the decent ones because it matters. The way God guided me, it matters. If they're portraying him as very old and like the way they sadly portray Mahdi too, right? In private, they just portray Moses, everyone. They portray them like these old people. No, God does not choose old people as your leaders, okay? They're 25 to 30 or 33 in that sense when they become prophets, or 32, like that. Because I mean, today the way we all look like, I'm already 31. I just turned 31 this October 2024. I don't look like it. I look like a 20-year-old. You see, so it's that's what I mean by young people. It's like we look young, Um, So think of that type of young person, right? Like someone like me, even though, right, we wouldn't really say 30 is the same as 25. I know, but then it's like when you age, you don't change. I still feel like I'm 25. I don't feel like I've become old. But when maybe we were 20, maybe we thought people like that. Okay, so just young in that sense. They're like in the middle. They're 25 to 30, right? They're like the middle age group. They're not 40s and 50s, because that's actually when they complete their mission. There you go, very rational. You're really old. So in their 40s, that's actually when they die. Okay, so it's very rational. And because they're powerful and supernatural, they complete everything in 10 years or something. So they don't actually live to be ruling for that long. So it's actually accurate, that you think maybe maximum Mahdi will be here for 9 years. God told me it's 10 years. Um, 10 years. He's gonna, I shouldn't say he, they're gonna die, right? 42. Okay, so and Jesus will die. I talked about this in another episode. So, anyways, listen to this episode about, right, Jesus. Come back to it at the end, but then watch the movie, and I want you to see, because you've already listened to so much wisdom so far. You've prayed, you've done your thing. Now you're gonna listen to this, and then you're gonna go watch this movie, and now you're all gonna study. You're gonna try to understand him. You're gonna try to see how prophets live their life, how when you don't know them, how they sort of live. How God hides them. They don't know who they are always, but they do know they're different than you. They don't call themselves like a person like you. I always knew I wasn't human like you. I always knew I was different, but I didn't use the word supernatural. You see, because I'm not guided to that word. You have to be guided to the terminology. You have to be guided to call yourself who you are. You don't know that. Okay, so it's like that. Watch the movie. Demons are harassing me. Seems like I'm just going on and on. When this happens, everyone, even though I wanted to get to the point at the beginning, it means witchcraft has been put on me heavily by every vehicle passing by. Okay, so, right, I want you to watch the movie, and I want you to focus on him and study him, and then try to understand why he might be returning, other than, right, what religion says. Like, really try to sort of understand the person. That's why Christians love him so much. They sort of understand the person. There's just some corruption, right? But just the idea, just understand the person, and there you go. Um, God may not consider it sinful for you to act, right? In a movie as these people, it may not be sinful to him. You don't know that. God just considers evil stuff always sin. Correct? You're portraying them in a bad way. Of course, your Lord is not. It's not confusing for you to know what your Lord is feeling. He's angry. Okay, but for you to actually make a movie portraying an actor as Jesus, and they sort of show you how we don't know if God considers simply that as sin. So there you go. You Muslims have to get out of your backwardness. You're always backward. Come out of that backwardness. Stop being, I told you, obsessed with your prophets like some God. They're not gods, okay? Stop being so weird, you know? Be obsessed with God, please. And these demons are going crazy with vehicles. The more noise you hear behind me is because I'm speaking more of the truth, okay? Be obsessed with your Lord instead, and understand that is why you're limited when it comes to understanding Prophet Muhammad. If someone maybe was to try to make a story about his life, boom, you get angry. Oh no, it's a sin, like that. So that's why you all remember that movie they made. I think it was called Umar, maybe way a few years ago. Sort of, right? A story. They didn't show his face, but it's about around his time, like that. You all thought that was a nice series to watch. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes that's just how you learn. People sort of have to show you how things look like in the past, or they have to dress like those people, things like that. You can use cartoon, etc. So I'm not saying, I personally think you should show the face or the body of a prophet, right? Someone so close to God, and pretend to be like them in a I don't, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I don't know. Okay? So I'm humble. I don't I don't label something as sin because you don't have the right. You don't know that stuff. You know? So you see, I'm trying to guide you as to how your Lord wants you to think in areas your religion doesn't have answers for you. Just be wise. Just be smart about it. If someone over there thinks it's okay to play that actor, right? Not to play the actor, sorry, for an actor to play a role pretending to be Jesus, don't curse them. You see, you don't know what God thinks. You don't know if it's sinful to him, yes, but he's merciful to so and so because they don't know. Like that, just be just with people. So, that extremist way you Muslims have, that's from shaitan, that's from demons. You're extreme. You're very violent, and that's not something that God would teach you. So, by watching this movie of Jesus, you're going to see how the other Muslims on this earth are living, how the other believers of God, right? They're also, obviously, these people are the people of God, also Christians. Exactly, they're just misguided into a different version of God's religion. Okay, so you're the same. You're not better than them. We would say you have an area that you're excelling. You're worshiping God Himself. They're worshiping a prophet. Okay, so maybe God could say that makes you better. See, we don't know. I'm not gonna say something I don't know. You know, I don't know. Okay, but you have to be fair. You have to be fair with these things when people don't know who God is. But definitely, you human beings are better than each other. That's a fact. When you're moral and that person is evil, so we are better than each other. We have more status than each other when it comes to character. You know, there you go. So it's about character. Character is what God is judging, but no one knows who God is. So He's not gonna just throw people away because they worship that rock over there. Because exactly, they don't know that. Just because you knew and you got into a religion that told you who God is. Exactly. Why would you have a better status? A lot of you don't even worship Allah because you think He's Allah. You just do it because you're born into the religion. So that's why it's easy for you to just, boom, go to Christianity or Judaism if you had a choice. You're just scared of being killed or something. That's what I'm saying. So let God do the judging, okay? Just like the Christianity tells you. Just leave the extremism. Just calm down. Just relax. As Muslims, when you see Jesus movies being made of Him, you don't freak out. You don't get angry. You don't curse nobody. That's what I'm saying. You need to do the same for Prophet Muhammad. Okay? I'm not saying go make movies about him. No, don't do it. I'm just saying things that have already happened, right? We cannot stop what other people think they should do, right? Try to actually relax and try to get guidance from God. My Lord, is this okay with you? Obviously, they should be careful. This is your prophet, how they portray him, etc. I know, like that. But my Lord, do you actually think it's wrong that this, like that? Try to actually use that time to talk to your Lord. Maybe it's a sin in God's eyes. Maybe He'll tell you to just play roles of the people around Him and right around them in just their time, sort of mimic their historical time event, like that, just like Islam says. But don't show a person actually trying to act like the prophet. Right? I don't feel comfortable when they do that. Just so you know, I don't personally think you should play Jesus. I don't think you should do such a thing. I think these people are so great. You should never play them in a role. You see, it's so rude. But what I'm saying is, when humans have already done that, right? It's too late. I don't want you guys to be extreme. You see my point? Because you would all agree they don't know, and you many times you just call them misguided. Okay, but I want you to see that since the story is out there, you're not glorifying that, you're not accepting that, you're not saying it's okay just because you watch the movie. You see what I'm saying? I just want you to watch the movie to simply learn and understand the way that they think he lived his life, the way that you see what I'm saying? Just simply use it as seeking knowledge. Just seek knowledge. As you watch that movie and someone's playing Prophet Jesus, don't actually celebrate and be like, oh, don't you get me? That's creepy. We honor them. We don't want people to play them. Okay? So that's the area they're misguided as non-Muslims. I believe God probably would say don't play them, right? As an actor, don't play their role. You get me? But just watch the movie. You see, just the movie, just sort of the way people are telling you, these people did this, these people did that. Just try to understand. And then, right, my podcast will then help you. It's already taking out the lies and it's telling you those areas are corruption, right? Such as the fact that people try to kill them and chase them, and that doesn't happen. Okay, it's just demonic persecution. Demons are possessing bad people to just bother you. At some point, it's you guys, right? Right? Since I'm also going through what they go through. Exactly. At some point, the humans who were possessed to bother me was you, the average Muslims in your mosques. You were evil around me. You just don't know. You don't remember. Okay, so at some point, the people of that time, that so and so prophet is gonna help, right, or save in that sense. Only God saves you, but they're gonna be used to help you, right? At some point, you're possessed to act bad around them because you're just indecent human beings. You're just, that's, yeah. And then when God tells you who they are in the future, and they have scripture and the religion changes, now you're the followers. So I don't want you to ever then forget what that then means about then the followers of the past, right? The followers of Jesus, the followers of Muhammad, what that then means about those great prophets. And Mahdi also in the future. Exactly. Whoever is following them at some point was being used to act bad around them. That you could call persecution. You see what I mean? You see me? And they just learned who they are. Okay, but you have to ask yourself, how's that possible? It's not possible. They're powerful. You cannot persecute and then obey them one day. That's weird, right? So then that's your evidence again. I keep doing in this podcast. Humans and demons are not persecuting prophets, and they're not persecuting me. God makes you. He puts us in a program where your demons come out of you and they're told to just use your body to act bad around us. The demon has guidelines. They're told what to not do. There's limits, you know? These human beings, when their demons possess them, they come here, they just listen to me, they just stalk me, they don't do much. They hardly do anything. They watch me, stalk me, follow me. They don't do much. They look like normal people sitting at the same park as me, same school as me. They don't look bad to you, but they're possessed and they're actually stalking and monitoring my activities. They put witchcraft on me. It's so covert. But if I try to go and do something with my life, then okay, I get sabotaged, I get harassed, I get accused, right? Someone's always trying to put you out of jail, a mental hospital. Then you get to see the person's actually harassed and targeted. You see what I mean? But in those scenarios, exactly, demons are not my opponent. I'm stronger than them. They're not targeting me. Humans are not my opponent. I'm stronger than you. You're not targeting me. It's the same for prophets. God is testing us with that. He's putting us in a program. In order for that to happen, you don't know who we are. You're blind. And the power is put on you to act that way. So therefore, since it's not true and it's not real, it's not possible, it's limited. It's just for a few years that we're gonna have our normal life. And then you're gonna stop acting that way. You're gonna be scared of the person and you're gonna obey. So then that's another reason why then evil stops and great justice would appear at any prophet's time. Okay, so then when you see these movies or these stories in scripture tell you so and so was chased and killed and that's it, story ended, or so and so was able to only have this small group of followers and the rest of the world that whoa, that's how you know that's corruption, because that's not rational. You know they're sent to the whole world has to follow. And the other area you know then has to not be true is there's dogs around me, hi doggies. The other way is exactly they make it seem as if they were always in one little city, right? Jesus was maybe in Israel. Muhammad, they say he's just in Saudi Arabia. No, they're just like Mahdi. So basically, that's why I want you to focus on Mahdi and Jesus. You want to focus on Jesus, right? Studying about him because he's coming back. Duh. So you don't obviously not respect this person. Just push him off, okay? But then and you can never do that. When they arrive, the respect arrives, okay? Duh. This is a great person. Obviously, I don't mean that. I mean before they arrive, there's no respect, okay? Because you don't know who they are. But two, I want you to also focus on Mahdi and studying about them and looking for them. And you Muslims need to look at the Shia version. They have some truth. Because then you're going to be like, oh, Mahdi is the sort of person in the middle, the last prophet, right? That is helping us, even though they're last prophet, right? They're basically bringing you Christians and Muslims together and Jews together. They're bringing everybody together because they're the last. So then what does that mean? You have to observe their life. The way they tell you they were persecuted. The way they tell you the limits humans and demons had. Right? They cannot kill me. They cannot, etc. That's what they're going to tell you. Okay, get it? That's the limits they have with prophets. No one did anything. Okay, they're powerful supernatural beings. They're like half angels basically. 'Cause every time I say supernatural, you don't know what that is. That word has been thrown around. Just half angel maybe, right? Like maybe like that. I wouldn't even say 20% angel. They're like half angels. They're powerful. Okay, so this idea, right, of you killing them, fighting them, putting them here, this sort of equal equality to of strength is not, it's not true. Okay, they're not human like you. They're not okay, but it's there's just a few years that God makes them live like um, a person, and no one, they don't have their abilities in that sense. And they don't, and some prophets might have had some cool miracles happen around their lifetime. Of course, we don't know that. I just mean the idea, that sort of person they become at the end of their life. They're not like that at the beginning, right? Because God guides them to who they are. God stops blinding his creation about who they are at some point, because then he can put humans and demons in a program to act bad around this person, which he called persecution. Yeah, I hate that word. You just act bad around them, arrest them, accuse them, etc. Because it cannot happen if they're here as their true self, correct? They have angel-like self. Okay, so you see, they're not like that then at the beginning. That doesn't then mean that's who they are, but then they became powerful. No, that's who they were. They were always that like half angel, powerful person. It just means that's the test. It's like they're told to come here and just look like a person, just look like a human or something. That's the test, get it? So then they become their true self. And that's who they then are. So whoever Mahdi becomes in the future, whatever supernatural qualities and abilities God gives them, that's then the sort of symbolic example for you of all prophets, who they are. You see what I mean? They're all like that at the end of their life when they're actually spreading a religion. Get it? When you all think persecution happens, persecution doesn't happen when they're spreading religion. Persecution just means you're born. You don't know who you are, but demons are told to come and bother you. So it's just like they just harass your life, get it? They just simply bother your life. It's nothing big. It's nothing gigantic and dangerous. Okay? That's it. You learn a lot. You suffer a lot. You become poor. Like that. That's it. Then you become this cool, powerful person. That's when you're then spreading religion. So who's going to bother you? Okay? It's over. So these movies, right? Like Jesus, when I was young, right? As a Muslim, that's why I didn't like to watch them, to be honest with you, on a personal level, because they creep me out. You know what I mean? They just portray prophets like just kill them, chop them, like that. So since I'm someone who knows who they are, right? I just didn't have this guidance, right? I had to be guided to this as I got older, but deep in my soul, I know who they are. Deep in my soul, I know that's not true. I always felt disgusting. So I could never, why watch such movies, even if God didn't have a problem with you playing a character, so pretending to be a prophet. You get me? Even if that wasn't the sort of first reason in that sense, right? It doesn't matter. I just don't like how they portray them as weak people. You killed and persecuted. You see that sort of weakness is irritating me. That sort of dominance you, right, were corrupted into thinking humans had, because exactly you think it's just a regular man like yourself who was a Jesus. So you're not insulting anybody. That's just what you were told, You would insult somebody if you know something and you lie, correct? You don't know anything. Their identity is stolen from you as to how powerful they were. So that's why on my podcast, I focus so much more on their power rather than things like, oh, this sexism is not true. I don't focus more on that. You know right from wrong. I focus more on their identity, their characteristics, their qualities that is corrupted. Because that's really then how everything got destroyed, right? That's how you couldn't think someone persecuted somebody, someone killed somebody, someone was the son of God. You get their identity, who they really were. Yes, they're powerful, but then what that actually means. So if you don't want to, that's your choice. But just understand, you don't have to watch a movie in that sense. I just want you to go back to focusing on who Jesus is from a perspective of Christianity. That's why I'm saying, as Muslims, I don't want you to keep learning about him from Islam only. Go to the Christian version, even to the historical version. You get me? Just leave the Islam part. You already know that. Go to the non-Muslim part about him, because you need to see that story, right? You already know your part, what Islam says, okay, and then now you come to my podcast. You already listened to all those episodes. I already told you the lies off of him and all prophets, future ones also. including myself, who I am, and the limits God's creation has around me and who they are around me. So that one day when you know who I am, you're like, okay, we understand you also. It's like that. And then when you already listen to all these episodes, right, and you already have knowledge of all these areas of human knowledge, what they believe, sadly, right, due to corruptions, and the areas that then it's true, you just don't know what that is. Now the podcast really can guide you. Now it can actually make a difference in your life. But you can't just come here, listen to what I say, and perfectly understand my intention for you. No, right? Because you don't even know what the interpretation people have of him is. You just know what a sheikh tells you. He tells you, oh, they think Jesus was crucified and killed, but he was not. That's all you know. Do you personally believe he was not killed? No, right? They just told you. I want you to have your own study. You go and research and read what the Christians say. To some degree, it's so similar to us. They believe he didn't die either. they just they just think it's like a symbolic thing, like he died to sort of die for your sin, but then he came right back. There you go. The Muslim sheikhs don't tell you that Christians believe he came back. They rarely tell us that he came back. He's back. Get it? He's not dead. He's back. And he says to people, I will meet you in the future. We'll meet again, even though those people will die, sadly, right? And there you go. He's telling the truth. He is going to come back. So you see, study their version. Because the more God guides me to areas of religious corruption, the more I'm starting to love Christians and non-Muslims. Just, of course, I'm human. I've always loved good people. I just mean like sort of Christian. The more I'm actually starting to appreciate their existence. And I believe not only is that a wisdom from Allah, right, for you Muslims and for, right, non-Muslims also, right, that your Lord truly feels that way about you, obviously, that he doesn't push you away, because he is the God of Islam, and he is also the God of Christianity and Judaism, and you're just the corruption is splitting you. Okay, but two, I want you to know almost everything about me is similar to Prophet Muhammad. That's another thing I was guided to. So yeah, it means my Prophet Muhammad, when he was here, and he's also observing Christians, right? Since there was no Muslims back then, that means he was also learning this way to appreciate them also, to appreciate their existence, and the fact that they're just misguided. There's no hatred here. They're just misguided. They don't know. But the evil humans, he definitely had an opinion, just like I do. Whether they're Christian, Jew, Muslim, Hindu, I don't care, obviously, where you come from. You actually believe in being a pervert, a sexist, a weirdo, a nasty. You use religion, culture, yourself, government, anywhere you come. I don't care where you get it from. Bad people, we don't love you. We just want you to change. We just obviously feel merciful in the sense that we're not unhappy if you change. Obviously it's better to change. Okay, but in terms of people who are good, they don't believe in evil in their scriptures, even though it says it, right? They don't believe it, they don't act on it, they don't practice it, but they are corrupted into thinking this is how their Lord died for them. Or I don't hate them, I feel sorry for them. They're misguided. I see the demon is the problem. I curse them. You know what I mean? So it's like that. That's sort of balance. I want you Muslims to learn it from me. That's how your prophet was. And that's how I'm guided to become, so that you can learn from me, because we're in the future. I'm in the future with you. I'm being used to guide you now. Since I was Muslim with you all these years, it's not hard to sort of respect what I say. You know? God knows that to some degree. Not that that's required. He's a great king. It just means he knows. Since Muslims are the first people, we would say, are following God's true religion, because you're actually worshiping God himself, right? We would put Christians next to you because exactly they're worshiping a human prophet. But in terms of who's going to go to paradise, see, I only meant in terms of who's following the correct religion. But in terms of who's going to go to paradise first, no, 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 no. Some Christians will go to paradise, some Jews, some Hindus will go to paradise, and a lot of you Muslims will go to hell in their place, like that. Because that's about morality. That was about character. And that's another evidence for you that you can believe what I tell you, that God is really judging people on their character and not who they worship first. That's like second, because exactly, someone could worship God and some other person could be worshiping a human prophet they think is God's son, because they have so much abilities. And okay, when you go to the next life, God is going to put you in hell because you are a pervert. You oppressed women. You use the Quran. You use that Bible that says go rape, like that. So it's your character he's obviously judging. You can't be like, I don't know what that means. Come on. The worship of God is not going to protect you. The fact that you worshiped him is not going to protect you from going to hellfire if you were a bad person. So that means God cares about character first. See? First. Islam says Allah just wants you to worship him and you're good to go. You go to Jannah. No, 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 no. My Lord is not going to watch you rape and kill and murder and oppress his creation and just be like, you're going to go to paradise because you just simply said, La ilaha illallah. That's actually why we feel uncomfortable when we hear such a thing. That you can just get away with it. And that's why you don't like it when you hear about people telling you Jesus just died for them. Because it's the same thing. You're just getting away with it. So that's the same advice for you Christians too. You're also not going to just get away with it because you think someone died for you. No, everyone's going to be judged. For what you believe, what you agreed in your heart and mind, which is your feelings and thoughts, not the feelings and thoughts demons send you, but what you agreed with and how you then became in your character, sort of like internally your character, and then externally how you behave and live your life. So is that not just? You're just being treated for who you chose to be. You're not going to be thrown in hell because you actually worship someone who was not God. That's not fair. You don't know that. So he's a God that judges you for intent. Intent matters to him. Your intention matters. You can't be like you raped someone but you didn't know it was sinful. No, 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 no. You're not going to lie about intent like that. You're not going to corrupt what intent means there. You already are an evildoer. You're going to go to hell because you did something filthy or you spread it or you tell Muslims it's okay to go after children. You call it marriage. That's rape. 4 wives. That's murder. That's rape, trafficking, abduction. All the filth you can think of. Cheating on your wife. That's so nasty. Adultery. We can have so many terminologies that fit you. When you're forcing those Muslim females into the situation with you, well, obviously that's rape. Versus your perverts together, she agreed to be second and third with you. See, God has even taught me there's consensual rape in the sense that a human being allows you to harm them. They allow it. They actually know you're going to attack and harm them. They're okay with it. Don't run with that and now say some actual rapes in this world was consensual. No. I mean human beings who do this nonsense of polygamy and stuff. That is rape. You're raping each other. That's filthy. That's perversion. But see, you're agreeing to it. There are human beings who were dating somebody. Right? Some female was dating this male or married to him. And he's not attacking her. Get it? He actually asks her, can he actually harm her like that? And she says yes. So you see, it's just like homosexuals, the way they're doing something evil to themselves and to each other, but aren't they agreeing to it? Okay, if I was to label that consensual rape, did we insult rape? Did we call victims therefore guilty of what happened to them? No, right? I'm trying to guide you that there are human beings in this world who are so evil, they allow themselves to be harmed. And there are human beings who are being attacked. So we have to use consensual in this case. They're agreeing to be harmed. But it's still the action, get it? It's still it doesn't mean those humans then get away with it because this one agreed to be harmed by this one. It doesn't mean that this one gets away with it. It never means you get away with it. We're just putting the blame where it belongs. Either 2 parties are guilty or one is guilty. It's just about guilt. Who's guilty? It doesn't mean consensual means that the other one is not guilty. No, they're always guilty. Evil means you're always guilty. You're always going to go to hell. But did this human allow you? Did they actually become evil themselves? Or was it some other situation going on? Why does that matter? Because then we have to hold them accountable. We have to teach them not to do that again. We have to teach Muslim women, stop putting yourself in those situations. See, it matters that we know you agreed to it or not. Because then we get to tell you what to do so it doesn't happen again. Versus they just kidnap these little children and rape them. We're not going to necessarily, right, treat them this. You see what I'm saying? Versus children in situations where then we also have to tell them what to do. We also have to tell them to fight. We also have to tell them to run away. See, it's like the victim always has to be spoken to. Just because it's a perfect situation of a victim, right? Someone really shot you from above doesn't mean you never talk to them, right? As if talking to them means you're somehow accusing them of the evil that happened to them being their fault or something. No, that's why demons don't like it when we talk to victims. So they want you to feel like it's scary or bad, as if you're always somehow being accused of what others did to you or something, as if it's your fault. No, no, no. We want to talk to you. We want to ask you details what happened because it's our way of trying to help you not let it happen again. It's like we're just trying to make sure it doesn't happen again. So the person could say to you, what did you say? What did you do? When they touched the first time, did you push them away? What did they, they're not trying to hurt you. It's how then they teach you what to do next time. If that situation tries to appear, run, fight, call somebody. See, it's so how we can guide you as to what to do. You already know what to do, but you didn't do it. But isn't it our job as human beings to always guide each other to good? Aren't we supposed to always call each other to good? Okay, but then they're human beings. See, this is how diverse evil is. It's so annoying. They're human beings who actually, when they ask you those questions, exactly, it is actually to hurt you, to guilt you, to accuse you. See, so it's about the intention. Stop accusing and attacking God's creation. When they ask you questions and they're trying to tell you what you could have done to protect yourself as a victim, it doesn't mean they're saying it's your fault. They have to guide you what you should have done that you didn't do. Okay, it's your nature to fight against predators like rapists. Whether it's your husband, you sort of allowed it to happen, or someone attacked you from the back. We don't care what scenario it is. Either way, you're supposed to protect yourself. You're supposed to always fight. Choose death over that stuff. That's sort of martyrdom actually was for these situations of attack, you know? Whether it's like sort of violent attack or they actually just trying to attack you, either way, with you agreeing to it, doesn't matter. It's still an attack. It's still a harm. So if martyrdom ever existed, it was this one. When evildoers are trying to attack you, fight them. No matter the group size, no matter the situation, no matter whatever, die if that's what you have to go through. See, you're fighting. You're not trying to die. Get it? You're trying to stop them. If they die in the process, no problem, right? Good. If right, then you have to die in the process, or both you die, no problem. You see what I'm saying? All that matters is you just didn't let it happen. God does not actually teach you to let evil happen to you, even if it's just insult that is verbal. So part of the persecution demons, right? That's another thing God always shows me, that when they insult you, since I learned their psychology, right? When they insult you, they always trying to teach you to let it happen, because maybe people insult you multiple times over. They start to project these emotions to you that it's tiring to keep saying something every time someone says something nasty to me. No, just pick a smart word like, don't call me that again. But they try to argue with you, right? Then don't say anything after that. You see, you already did your fighting. You're done. They're just gonna leave. They're done. They're finished. That's the way evil was created. It just wants you to think you didn't do what you were supposed to do because it sort of speaks one more time. No, don't worry. That's an argument. They're rarely gonna insult you again. To be honest, they want to act like evil is something you can justify. So just let it go. Don't argue. That assertiveness, that silence means I dare you, right? You're aggressive. You're powerful now. They're gonna leave you alone. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. You just need to simply stand your ground. Don't do that to me again. Don't ever try that again. Don't you dare come near my body. Don't. That's it. You're done. So that's another way you can even prevent. Right? Human beings, you would say, usually are victims to these horrible things. If they just had that verbal, that body language, that assertiveness, just the first decent level of strength, they just stand up for themselves verbally, it wouldn't reach a point where that pervert thinks they can go to the next level, third level, fifth level, sixth level, because they're just like other bullies, right? They're seeing what they can do, what you allow them. If they know someone is strong, they're not gonna attempt anything. Okay, don't insult God's creation. Everyone's not equal in righteousness and strength. Okay, so evil humans are not gonna target everyone the exact same. No, they target those they know will allow it. Those they know, right, won't fight like that. But then harassment can happen to anybody, even if you're strong, because it's not a fair battle. God allows demons to harass people who are stronger than you, and they're possessing you sometimes, and you're not. Like that. That one you're all gonna have to just deal with it, right? That's sort of where the Bible says we're not fighting against flesh and blood. Like that, you remind yourself it's not a human, it's not fair. But situations of harm, okay, humans, like specifically the male in this case, really have to assess who they're dealing with. So don't mark the female gender and put them all in one box as if you can harm anyone. No. Specific weak females that would allow that wouldn't fight. They know who you are. Demons are not some sort of weird thing over there. They're a living being like you and I. They just assess and judge people. They know who's strong and who's not. So that's why we want to ask people questions. Because the ones who are weak among us, who always are the victim, I call them the victim creation, we need to teach them how to be strong. We need to teach them to be martyrs in their own life, to be assertive and strong people in their own life, to be smart and calculative in their own life. But since they've been programmed by demons using bad people to always question them from a place of trying to hurt them and guilt them as if they're responsible for what evil was done to them, when we ask these questions and they seem similar, boom, that's what they want you to think then. But they never have a moral purpose. So you see, my job is then to guide you by explaining to you the difference between them and us, so that you really know who's talking to you. Someone hits you in the head and people say to you, why didn't you say something or do something or move away? So you actually understand this person just wants to know what happened. Like, why didn't you? You might say, oh, I was actually distracted. I was sleeping. Like that. They just want to know what happened. Well, and then they'll guide you. They'll be like, do this next time. You know, when you walk in the street, actually use your peripheral vision. That's like that. They'll just help you. They know how to do like that. And then that person could be saying, why did you let them hit you? As if you wanted to be hit. You see, evil, and evil, correct? So you have to be smart at judging character intent, you know? And sometimes they're evil human. They look evil, their face is evil, but they could actually be that moment just asking you questions like that exactly from a good intention. But since they evil, right, and their energy is always bad, their eyes always look demonic, you might then assume they're also now asking you those questions from an evil place. You know, like maybe a cop. They really might be doing their job and asking you questions. Why didn't you call us? Why didn't you say this? Why didn't you run? Why like that? They might say that, right? And that question from that moment, they have a good intention. They're just doing what their job told them, right? What people like me who are righteous would tell them to do, right? Help you. Again, we don't talk like that. We don't talk blunt like that, right? Because exactly, we would explain what our intention is, and like that, that's the difference between them and us. It's not the exact same way, goodness, but I'm just telling you the intention is different. No, we're obviously different. Since we're righteous, the way we even ask you the question is very loving and nice. You could tell the goal. I just mean, right, to some degree, they make it similar, right? But since they're evil, but this moment, the intention is not evil in terms of what they want to do as behavior, and they're asking you these questions. But when you look at their energy, their body language, right, you see a bad person, you see bad energy. That's also another way you know their demons are coming out of them, right? They're showing you the sort of darkness within them is their demon. Now you're thinking, not their demon, goodness, sorry, a demon, right? Not their demon, as if demon belongs to them. Ew, that was ruined my words. A demon, right? So you see, sometimes you're seeing that. So there you go. Ask them. God has taught me to ask human beings when they're possessed, like I call cops on crazy human beings, right? And they ask weird questions. I have learned to say, what do you mean? Why are you asking me that question? What's your intention? I like to do that. Now it helps. They explain, and there you go. Now I control the situation in a moral way. You see? It's not your business. You just simply want to report a crime like that. You move on. But my Lord, since He showed me we have a problem, right? With a lot of human beings allowing themselves to be harmed in this world. It's not that many of them, to be honest. We have a lot of strong people in this world. I don't want to scare you. But that's also a group that I came to help. I came to help human beings that allow themselves to be victimized and abused and harmed. I came to teach you to be righteous and strong and martyrs if necessary. You know, you're not going killing innocent people. That's not martyrdom. Just when you're under attack, that's rational to call yourself a martyr, right? Fight for your life. Something basic for me, that's not basic for you anymore because you've chosen to be weak. We have to teach you to be strong. That's another thing prophets will teach you, and just righteous humans will teach you overall. Normal, healthy humans at their own level will also teach you overall. Okay, but why am I talking about that? Because when demons are made to manifest out of people, I see that's why I don't like the word persecution, because persecution makes it seem as if they're violent to you or something. No one can actually attack or bother me, okay? It's not that kind of, okay? So it's just harassment, get it? They just simply possess the person and they harass you. They just act bad. They just accuse you. They just get you fired. So it's not about dominance, it's not about strength. It's just harassment. So that's why I get so angry when they have all these stories they put into God's religion as demons, possessing bad people. And they're portraying prophets like, get it? They have the power to kill you. They have the power. No, you don't. No, you don't. Okay. So for that reason, then how did I learn about human beings who are victimized in those situations? If all I see is right demons just manifesting out of humans, just acting harassment, accusing me, and they don't know you. They're just the bad side comes out. People call it persecution because it happens all the time. You get me for years and years. We're not gonna call it persecution, right? Let's call it a different name, okay? Because persecution really implies violence. You know what I mean? So for that reason, it's because the humans who are possessed, everybody, exactly, a lot of them who are possessed to act bad, they just possessed to say some insult. They're that victim creation. They have been raped or molested themselves. And that, yes, means male and female, okay? So for that reason, right, the males allow other males to rape them, etc. Like that. So a lot of the human beings who are evil in the world, who are actually trying to act fake dominant around you, right, harassing you, insulting you, are actually weak in the sense that they allowed someone to harm them. They don't have that human quality of fighting for their body and their honor. They're not normal. So you see, they're empty vessels then. They're weak in that sense on another level, other than being weak because their character's bad. So they're so weak. You see what I mean? So if you observe that, which I observed, then my Lord was saying to me, if you're gonna, right, be used to help them one day, then you also need to teach them to drop that quality. Don't let others harm them. Teach them to not let others harm them. Teach these males who chose to be emasculated and weak. Don't let other males harm you like that. A lot of them have become homosexuals. All these LGBTQ humans are not who you think they are. They have actually been harmed by others. Okay. When I say others, I obviously mean male. Goodness, right? Like that. It's creepy. They don't want you to know. That's how they want to then express what happened to them. They want to go be perverts themselves. They want to let someone. They want to let that male rape them again because he raped them as a kid. What? Why? What? So you see, I have to protect human beings who are true victims. Like you are walking and someone shot you from 3 ceilings above. You're not a weak person. That's not a fair battle, correct? And this human lets someone rape them or molest them. They let it go. They don't fight. They don't stop it. Just like you teach your son. Why did you let that person hit you in the head? Beat the like that. Just as you don't think that's evil. You don't think they're created weak. You don't believe you're being unjust to tell them to beat the bully, right? To fight. Why is it weird to tell females and males to stop these weak males from trying to rape them? Then you're accusing them of being strong or something. They're not stronger than you. They're just weak little babies like those bullies in school. You're just allowing yourself to be the weak human and letting it. You're not killing. You're not fighting. You're not. It already starts at the beginning. Get it? Before it becomes a physical thing, it's a psychological thing. They first trying to come near you and stuff. They get it. First, it's psychological. It's how you carry yourself in society. You walk outside. You choose to be a weak human. They can sense that energy. Get it? Versus normal, healthy human beings every day walking this earth. Healthy people. Hell no. They can beat the hell out of you. I told you guys, that's actually the majority. Don't worry, They know that. They're not going to bother you. You see what I'm saying? So if I don't teach you that, if I don't teach you how these predators, who they're looking for, and what these humans could have done to prevent it, and then every day when the government is reporting crime, they literally have zero for rape, zero for molestation, zero for abduction, zero for these horrible things that's predatory. Because humans always fought. And those weirdos in that moment in human history know there's no one to look for. Who's gonna let it happen? They fight you. They're gonna kill you or die in the process. They don't mind being the sort of warrior that a lot of Muslims think they should be in religion, right? You all think you should fight for your life like that. We're not hurting anybody. We're not putting anybody down who was harmed. We're just saying you're strong. God did not create you weak. Just like, right? Someone can't just beat you up. We know you can also like that. I know demons put a curse on the human race, especially females, making rape seem like it's the only thing they cannot fight or something, and everything else they want you to think you can fight it. That's irrational, you know? So, okay, I want you to know why there's a spiritual way they attack your mind. They use those humans who allowed it to happen to themselves to scare you. They say things like they couldn't do it. They're lying to us, okay? They actually don't fight when it happens. They just use their words maybe. Why would you? You're not supposed to use words. This is a violent situation. Grab whatever sharp you find. Bite them, kill them, get it. I have to teach you what those healthy, assertive parents taught you. Why did you not hit them back? Like that. I have to talk to you like that. Because God has guided me. All these empty vessels being possessed to be evil in the world were abused like that, and that they want to just go out and be bad to others. So at some point we have to heal them, we have to help them, we have to guide them. Correct? And whoever did evil to them, they need to be killed. You're supposed to kill rapists, molesters, murderers, these heinous criminals, these abductors, traffickers. They deserve death penalty. But things like stealing and all that, okay, sort of, you're gonna give them lesser punishment. Okay, so I have to be guided to how to treat everybody and how to separate a true meaning of a victim, right? Who's a strong person versus a victim over there that's a weak human. Because a strong human, assertive, powerful people can be victims to something, but it's limited since they're strong. They can be victim to someone stealing their purse when they're not watching. See, they're not weak. The person didn't see that, get it? Like, it's one of those situations you have to be. The word victim is dangerous. It has two groups, basically, is what I'm saying. Just like hatred, it's not one version. So they want you to then think, oh, don't be hateful to anybody, it's a sin. No, there's two types of hatred. There's a moral hatred that righteous people like me have, such as for human beings like this, who are raping and killing others. We hate them, correct? And God hates them too. God does not love evildoers. He's just merciful, get it? He allows them to be redeemed and repent, but he's still going to punish them. That justness. Christianity, literally, this movie, Jesus literally started off with that. They literally said, like, God is so loving, but he's holy. And look at the word holy. They didn't say loving again. They said another word. They said he's holy. And in order to be holy, he has to punish because that's just. Wow. So you are Muslims, okay? You Christians are my people. You're just misguided. So you're in this lifetime. Sadly, other people didn't get that chance. When Jesus returns, you're finally gonna see what we were telling you so far. And what you were telling Muslims, right, that their Quran is corrupted. They're gonna see it so far because Mahdi's gonna say the same thing. But I want all of you to be humble and take what I'm telling you, because I'm putting both of you where you all belong. I'm uplifting you when you're correct, and I'm humbling you and disciplining you correctly, right? Without acting like you're God when you're wrong. You're supposed to learn that from me also. That the way I do that, how balanced I am, how just I am, how humble I am. If I don't know something, I don't act like I know it. I don't use what I've already been guided to then just conclude something else that it has to be ABC. I don't. You all know, it's like you know this type of character. God loves someone like this, but it's like you're lacking either way. Because a lot of you just became bad people. And others, they're just not using their mind. You want to say they're bad. So they're not agreeing to evil. See? Everything we have to be specific. Because we're not going to put humans who are misguided and confused as to who God is. We're not going to put them in the same box of those who say perversion is okay. Because, right, the scripture says both of those two things. Good people just simply might be confused as to who God is. No one saw God. And one person over there might be like, that's not God. Okay, you simply did a good job. We're not going to say you're going to go to paradise and this one's going to go to hell. No, because it's not about the sort of intentional evil quality. They just chose to worship a fake God. No, they don't know. Versus religious preachers who maybe know that. Maybe they saw some evidence Jesus, right, that he was accused of that. Okay, they're going to go to hell. See, it's all about like that. These human beings, the scripture says, be this way to women, or be this way to yourself, or be this way to children. Okay, good people are going to read that and be like, what? And they're going to hide, they're going to avoid. They're just going to live their life, be good people always. See? So they do deserve paradise, a higher level than you. Even if you were to be redeemed and get a paradise, because it's actually, they're better than you. Well, you're a bad person. It's not the book that corrupted you. So I also have to protect scriptures, people using them to protect themselves. Oh, the book told us, the preacher told us. No. You have to be a bad person in order to actually like that stuff or agree to it or do it or force it on others or preach it. Good Muslims like me never preach the evil stuff in Islam. We just talk about the good parts. We just simply worship our Lord. We mind our business. You know? You evil ones are taking the evil stuff and you're putting it in people's face instead of just ignoring it, hating it, and just thinking something else is going on. You don't understand what's going on, but like that, you just simply, you don't understand why it's there. But okay, evil is evil, right? You don't take it. In your heart, you could never agree or like it. You could never promote it. You hate it. You would have passed the test like us, but you didn't because you became a bad person. So I have to protect everybody from a sort of category they don't belong in. All of us don't know anything until God guides us, yes. But we all know right from wrong. That's one thing I will never let you get away with. Pretending to not know something is evil or not. Never. That's how I hold you accountable.